you know, this is comedy, so you don't really know how much of it is true. Just so you know.
Sadly, we do.
It's all true. All true.
There's more to lots of those stories and lots of things that, you know, are kind of exaggerated. But
Stay of it is FaceTime.
okay.
Please.
Everybody's a comedian. I know. So, yes. Okay, hold my mic up here. Okay, one thing I have never, I have two friends here that came tonight that I went to high school with. Oh, wow. Do you know that next year we are celebrating our 50-year class reunion? I did graduate when I was 12, so, you know, much younger than you think. So, anyway, let me see. I'm the only one that has to have notes because I have really bad, did I say really enough? ADHD, I can't remember. Do you know what CRS is? Anybody know?
Can't remember shit.
Thank you. Can't remember shit. Yes. Can't remember shit. Can't recall shit. Can't retain shit. None. I've learned it, but it's in my brain. But it's so disorganized in my brain, in my file cabinet there, that I can't recall it. So I used to think I was really dumb, and then I realized, no, it's there, and I had it at one time, but I can't retrieve it. And so I've accepted that in my body, or my mind, or whatever. So I have to comment on her 420 thing. So dating in your 60s is a whole new thing, as anyone here that, I don't know if there's anybody else dating in their 60s, but I remember my first date, not in my 20s, but in my 60s. And, oh, I already lost my train of thought. Hold on. It's gonna come back to me. Oh, so I was on a date with a guy, not Mr. Todd over here, but I was on with this date, and my son called me, and he said, Mom, he said, I just left my house, and I had this guy with me because we were using my car because of blah, blah, blah. But anyway, so he says, Mom, what are you doing? I said, we're on our way to blah, blah, to a dinner. And he said, well, what time is it? And I said, oh, I think it's about 5:30. And he goes, no, I think it's only 4:20. And I go, no, I think it's 5:30. And he kept saying, no, Mom, I think it's 4:20. And I'm going, no, it's really 5:30. I don't know what you're talking about. And then finally he had to spell it out for me because I had no idea what any of that means. But basically, I had one of those cards at the time, and he needed me to go get something for him. So anyway, that was the hint that he was giving me. So I learned what that meant, because I'm very slow in some areas of my life. But dating in your 60s, there's a lot of acronyms that you learn about. In fact, Nick is here, and Nick, I started following him when he started his comedy stuff, because you know, I like Nick and I knew him, and I thought, oh, I want to be a little support and so forth. And I remember standing there, and he's probably, and I was with my son, and I said, yeah, John, I said, I'm one of his groupies. I didn't know what that meant. And my son quickly corrected me and said, no, Mom, you're really not. And I said, okay, well, I'm supporting him. And anyway, so Liz, I'm not. You are not. So, yeah, so we're good once I found out. So there's lots of these acronyms that I had to learn about as a single person in my 60s. Like on these profiles, these men would say, no ONS, or some would say, ONS okay. I didn't know what ONS was, so I'd say, what is ONS? One night stand. Well, what does that mean? Okay, I learned what that meant. All right. And then what I learned about, and then the other one was another acronym I had to learn about was FWB. I thought, FWB, Friends with Benefits. Okay, so I sent him a text and I said, so are you offering health insurance, or you have a good retirement plan? You know, what is it you have? I mean, I had good health insurance, so I skipped those guys. And then FB. You know, I didn't know what that was. I thought it was, so I jumped on those. I was really excited about those, because I thought, oh, they want a fun buddy. Then I found out that wasn't what that meant either. I have really bad FOMO. Do you know what that is? FOMO. What does that mean?
Fear of missing out.
Oh, my friends that know me, I'm extreme in that area. In fact, when Todd and I met, before we met, he wrote me, or we talked on the phone, he said, how spontaneous are you? And I said, oh, I've got it over the top. You know, if I think I'm going to miss out on something fun, I'm in pain if I don't make it there. So as was spoken earlier, I have really bad CRS, which is can't remember stuff, or in the adult term, can't remember shit. Let's see. So all the way back, I can remember even in elementary school, I was one of those kids that they pinned the note on to send home, you know, the information they needed you to get home because you wouldn't remember and you wouldn't tell your parents and so forth. And teachers would hope that I wouldn't pull my shirt off before I got home so that the note would actually make it home. Even in 11th grade, they were still pinning the note on. Although there was higher possibility that the shirt might come off before I get home. So when Todd and I had been dating a while, we decided to take this little trip and we parked in a casino in his RV. And the next morning, I decided that I was gonna take my car and drive up to the casino and wash my face and get cleaned up a little bit. And so I did that. And then when I got back to the RV, I went into a momentary panic and I said, Todd, where's my car? And he said, you drove it to the casino. So that's when he knew he was in trouble. Because he knew right then that I just don't recall anything and I forget things quite often. Sorry. Let's see. I'm not one of these good ones. I brought a book. The other day I was at his house. That's all right. I'll leave that one. I've got all kinds of notes. I'm just going to pick and choose. So the other day I was at his house and I had lost my phone and I couldn't find it. I looked everywhere and then I found it. And anybody want to guess where it was?
In your pocket?
Pocket. What else? Talking on it. No.
In your bra.
Not my bra. Well, we did that one once, but that one, yeah. No, it was actually in the freezer. And again, because of the ADHD, I had gone and I was doing something. In the middle of doing something, I put something in the freezer and I put my phone down, and then it's just all over the place. And so he couldn't, you know, he's accepted. He's the first man I know that when I say, honey, I can't find, and he immediately jumps up and says, let me help you find it. He's very patiently helps me find it. So I'm very appreciative of that. If I haven't mentioned before, you know, I am the adult version of ADHD. I'm sure that I can beat anyone. I'm very competitive. I like to be first. And so if you look that up in the dictionary, my picture is there, and I am the cute one. Although my ADHD, I haven't memorized this. I wish I was better at this, but you know, again, it doesn't go in the brain. My ADHD standing for, everyone knows what that stands for, is oh wait a minute, hold on, sorry. Alcohol was pushing in a little bit. Absent-mindedly dancing hysterical disorder, hysterical disorder, sorry. Whew, that was a lot to say. So like I said, I'm very impulsive. When I got married at 25 years old, I thought it was a great idea to marry a man that was 9 years older than me, that had custody of 5 children, and he had been divorced 3 times. That might have been a red flag for most people, not for me. I saw those kids and thought, that looks like a party. That looks like fun. I'm going to jump in there and have fun. So I did, and of course, again, because I'm very competitive, I wanted to win. I wanted to be married to him longer than anyone else. So I stayed 20 years, and I stayed longer than all the other women, and then I realized there was no prize. So I did leave after that. So I went on. So dating in your 60s is a brand new adventure. Like I said, there's many new acronyms you have to learn and be aware of and be sensitive to. I learned that hookup meant something totally different, because I would tell my kids, hey, I'm going to hook up with this person. They went, no, Mom, you know, maybe not. And so, I mean, in our day, way back then, you know, you were just going to meet somebody. That's all it meant. But apparently it means something differently. Profiles for men, they are so dumb. I'm saying they are so dumb. In fact, I want to start a part-time job helping men write their profiles, because they are so dumb. And even Todd, I'll tell you about his was really bad. So, like one guy, he put in there, must have all your teeth. I mean, that's a pretty high expectation for people at our age. I think that's a high standard. They shouldn't expect that. But my greatest and most memorable one was when the guy said, women, don't worry, I've had penile implant done. So I will be able to take care of you. Now, in my mind immediately went, well, I'm not sure if I'm interested, but if I am, is it electrical, is it a pump, is it manual? I mean, how does that work? I didn't know. But anyway, I just thought some women may not be interested. So yes, I have to tell you quickly, and I don't have any idea where I'm on time, so somebody will have to tell me. Okay, so I'm gonna finish with these things. So Todd's profile was nothing, and I usually did not respond to anyone whatsoever that had nothing written because I thought, oh, they're just gonna go by strictly their pictures. And he had 3 pictures in there, which were very nice. However, later I found out they were 15 years old. Just saying. So when I saw him, and then this is how dumb men are. Sorry, Todd, but this is what he did. When I said, well, could you send me a current picture of you? He sends me a picture of him and another woman. Really? He goes, oh, she's just a friend. She's just a friend. Okay. Well, so then after we'd had a few dates, I thought it was important, since he is old, you know, he's in his 60s as well, I needed to let him know that if he had ED, it was okay. And he had to, you know, kind of bring that subject up at some point. And I said, because I knew there were medications for that, it would be good if he needed, you know, some help in that area. And his response was, oh, I do have ED, but I don't need medication. And I said, oh, really? And he goes, yeah, I have enormous.